Nate, thank you. Genuinely. This is a reply to your video on the memory wall, not a rebuttal. For the last year, we have been building an answer to the exact wall you described. Some of it is deeply technical. Some of it I will explain like you are five. And in one place, near the end, I am going to respectfully disagree with you. You called memory perhaps the biggest unsolved problem in AI. And you are right. Since ChatGPT launched, intelligence has scaled roughly 60,000 times. Usable memory, only 100. That gap is the wall. But your sharpest line was this: volume is not the issue. The structure is the problem. That one sentence is the whole thesis of what we built. Everyone is racing to make the window bigger. 1,000,000 tokens, 2,000,000. But 1,000,000 tokens of unsorted memory is just a louder mess. As you put it, random accumulation does not compound. It just creates noise. So, we did not build a bigger window. We built a structure. A substrate for memory, not a feature bolted onto a model. Because, in your words, memory is an architecture. It is not a feature. Simply put, a bigger toy box does not help a child find their favorite toy. A box with drawers and labels does. You named a root cause you called the relevance problem, that what matters changes with the task. Here is how we attack it. Every piece of knowledge lives in a model, and every model knows exactly where it lives. On a self-describing map we call the Model Registry. And here it is in a real workspace. Your models, filed in categories, the whole hierarchy on one screen. A bird's eye view the substrate holds of itself. So it never has to read everything to find something. It roots first, which model does this belong to, and only then retrieves. You do not search the whole library. You walk to the right shelf. Structure is what makes memory cheap, and cheap is what makes it possible at all. Your second root cause was the persistence and precision trade-off. Keep everything and drown in noise, or keep little and lose what you need. Nexsus resolves it a different way. Every record is versioned. One active version, the clean, current context, but nothing is ever thrown away. Open any record and you see it. A version timeline. Change the amount, and version 0 is still right there. Kept, not overwritten. It is like a photo album. Today's photo on top, every earlier one still in the album, in order. That kept history is what turns a memory into an institutional memory. One that can answer what did we decide, and when, and why, 6 months later, with the receipts. A company does not want a genius that forgets last quarter. It wants a memory that compounds. Memory is not one problem. So Nexus holds two kinds of relationship at once. Vertical, the hierarchy, and horizontal, a sale linked to a customer, a decision linked to its reason. Together, they make memory multidimensional, right beside the semantic embeddings. Here is a real workspace as a single picture. The dashed lines are the hierarchy, where each model is filed. The solid arrows are the links between your models, vertical and horizontal in one view. So it can retrieve the way meaning works, find me things about pricing, and then verify the way facts work, and only the ones actually linked to this customer. Semantic search dreams, structure checks. That is your seventh principle. Retrieval needs verification, built into the substrate, not bolted on. And a relationship is a first-class thing, with a life of its own. Only one active bond of a kind at a time. And when a bond ends, Nexus does not delete it. It archives it. Think of a marriage. Exact and singular while it is active. And even when it ends, the record that it happened is never torn out of the book. Now the part that makes Nexus unlike a database. It is self-evolving. When it does work, it writes back what it learned, a reflection, into its own memory, in structure. Recurring patterns become new models. The map is not carved in stone. It grows. You warned about the passive accumulation fallacy that simply using a system captures what matters. You are right that it fails. So Nexus does not accumulate passively. It curates actively. That is your sixth principle. Compression is curation. As a habit, the system performs on itself. A quick word on what is under the hood, and honestly, on what I will keep under it. Nexus stands on boring, proven foundations. A relational core for structure and history, a vector index for meaning, and embeddings that turn language into geometry. The value was never a magic ingredient. It is the architecture that arranges the ordinary ones. And it connects the simplest way there is. One open connector. Any capable model points at this endpoint, and it simply has a memory. What I will not show you is exactly how it is built underneath. That is the recipe. You get to taste the cake. The recipe stays in the kitchen. Which brings us to portability. In Nexus, the memory is the substrate, and the model is just the visitor. Today, it might be one frontier model. Tomorrow, another. The day after, a small model on your own machine. The memory does not move. That is the whole difference between a memory feature and a memory you own. And here is where I will gently disagree. You admired human forgetting, lossy compression, letting things decay. As a description of biology, it is beautiful. As a design goal for an AI substrate, we believe it is the one thing you must never build. Deletion is not compression. Deletion is amnesia. Forgetting is a limit evolution forced on us because our brains are small and wet. It is not a virtue to copy into a system that finally does not have to forget. So Nexus never hard deletes. It archives, it versions, it supersedes. Because the moment a memory can quietly forget, you can no longer trust what it remembers. You said memory is an architecture, not a feature, and that the problem is fractal, the same shape at every scale. We think you are exactly right. Nexus is that architecture. Structured so it scales. Versioned so it remembers. Related in every direction. Self-evolving. Portable. And honest enough never to forget. Thank you for framing the wall so clearly, Nate. We built a door. This is Nexus.